It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing, and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
All right, it is now time to meet our first team from Bond Mill Elementary School. Would you please say hello to our captain, Jordan? Jordan, wave to everybody out there who's watching. Nice to have you here. He's a fifth grader. Maria is here, also a fifth grader. Wave to everybody, Maria. That's it. And Anvi is here too. Hi, Anvi. Nice to have you on the show today. All right, their coach is Miss Heskett, and Miss Galladay is their principal. Everyone's out there rooting for you guys, and if you're ready, let's play the bowl. Let's go to the green things questions. Green things for 5 points. Here it is. Giant redwood trees are so tall that they get much of their water not through their roots, but through this that rolls in every morning from the Pacific Ocean.
Perhaps the top.
What do you think, Jordan? Any idea?
I thought the
You're breaking up a little bit, young man. Could you sit just a little closer to your microphone so we can hear what you're saying?
I was thinking that it might be
Might be?
the
Not the tide, no, it's fog. Fog. The trees are so tall that the fog comes in, so that's where the moisture is, way up top there. They're just so tall. Let's try the 15-point question. A scientist by the name of von Helmont showed that a tree, just given water, gained weight over the years from the result of this food-making process in plants. Photosynthesis, that's it. Oh, you all knew that one. You were ready to chime in. Good, you got yourself 15 points. Thumbs up, thumbs up. 15 points, good. Here's your 25-point question in green things. This is an interesting little story. Native Americans years ago used to gather up pecans. They're nuts. They would boil them because the substance inside the pecans, while they were boiling, would form a thick layer atop the water, which provided a lot of calories to get the Native Americans through the winter. That substance that it was inside the nuts is the same nutrient inside seeds that help new pecan embryos start to grow. What nutrient is it that's separated from the boiling nuts? To get you through the winter, you know what bears have to do? They have to eat a lot of food, so they put on a lot of fat. There's a lot of fat in nuts. And yeah, they're high in calories, but boy, they're good for you. Let's go to the zoo for 5 points. In South America, there's a country called Colombia. And they did something that wasn't too smart. They released all of these large African animals that they had in their zoo, and now the animals have gotten out of control. Now they're trying to find a way to stop these hungry what?
hippos.
Hippos, that's it, good.
Hippos.
Hungry hippos, good. For 15 points in the zoo. Entomologists, which are insect specialists, entomologists have determined that these social insects that threaten our homes because of their ability to digest cellulose are actually related to some other home wreckers, the cockroaches. What insects am I talking about? An insect that is a home wrecker. They have the ability to digest cellulose.
Termites.
They're termites. They are termites, yes indeed, for 15 points. All right, I have a picture for you for 25 in zoo. You'll recognize this armadillo with its babies. Now, the species name of this armadillo is, listen carefully, Novem, N-O-V-E-M, cinctus, C-I-N-C-T-U-S. Cinctus means bands, circular bands. Novem refers to how many there are. So this armadillo's species name, Novem cinctus, translates to having how many bands looping around its armored shell.
I was thinking 9.
9 is absolutely correct. Good answer. You got yourself 25 points. Got a nice smile there from Jordan, too. Good. Let's go to the body system. 3 more questions before I take our first break. Body systems for 5 points. This part of the eye is named for the goddess of the rainbow.
Iris.
Iris. You got it. Thank you, Avi. Good answer. Anvi, let's go to 15 points in body systems. Maryland's Governor Larry Hogan recently had surgery for squamous cell carcinoma, a kind of cancer found in what epidermal tissue of the body?
Can we have some?
Any ideas out there?
Any idea?
When I say the word epidermis, what does that conjure up? That's the skin. It's skin cancer. Skin cancer. Let's try the last of your questions in the first round. It's a body system question for 25 points, and it's a multiple choice. If you look in your baby brother or sister's mouth, you say, all right, open wide. Or if you look in a mirror at yourself with your mouth wide open, there's a little punching bag hanging at the back of your throat. Kind of goes back, it's kind of a weird little thing. It's a piece of tissue at the back of your palate. Its name means little grape. Is it the uvula, the malleus, or the cochlea?
The uvula.
It is the uvula. Thank you, Maria. Absolutely right. You got yourself 25 points. Nice job. Which means, Bond Mill, you end the opening round with 140 points. Really nice work. We'll see you again in just a few minutes. All right, it is now time to meet the team from Capitol Heights Elementary School, and here they are. Say hello to their captain, Danielle. Danielle, wave to everybody at home. Nice to have her here. All fifth graders. Eamon is here. Hey, Eamon. Nice to see you, young man. And Kaylin, nice to have you on the show. She looks like she's ready and raring to go, too. All right, let's do the first 3 questions for you in green things. Here's your green things question for 5 points. If at home during the pandemic, you were in the kitchen and you decided to make pickles. You like pickles? Yeah, but you know what they are. If you're making pickles, you have to start with these vegetables that are as cool as they come. What vegetables are known as cool vegetables used for making pickles?
Okay, so we know that when you start up with pickles, you need cucumbers. Eddie said cool as come.
That's it. That's exactly right. Cool as a cucumber. Danielle, you are as cool as they come, too. All right, here's the 15-point question. Nice start, guys. Paleontologists have found that the ancestors of modern fleas that famously feed on your dog's blood once feasted on this liquid produced by flowers.
Do you guys have any ideas?
What is it that attracts animals to flowers because of a liquid they produce? What is the name of that liquid that they're after?
Is it pollen?
Not pollen. It's nectar. Nectar. They're trying to get the nectar. Bees try to collect the nectar. They take it back to the hive, use it to help make their honey. All right, for 25 points, the tough question in the green things category is a visual. Look at this picture. Beautiful picture. These are called zinnias. You might recognize them. Maybe you plant some of them in your own garden. Charles Darwin, the famous evolutionary scientist, he was never able to solve what he called the abominable mystery, the sudden appearance on Earth of this A initial group of flowering plants opposite of gymnosperms, since no fossils ever appeared to indicate that they ever existed. They never found any fossils of those kinds of A initial plants, flowering plants. That group is the opposite of gymnosperms, which can include plants like pine trees. Big word with the letter A is called angiosperms. Angiosperms are the opposite of gymnosperms. Let's go to the zoo. Zoo parade for 5 points. How many of you know who Peter Pan is?
I do.
Okay, that'll help you with this question. Captain Hook had a great fear of this reptile, which had eaten both Hook's hand and a clock that he carried.
Was it an alligator? Crocodile?
All right, Eamon and Kaylin, you're not saying anything. What do you think? Because Danielle's throwing out some ideas here. What do you want to say?
My first was also an alligator.
What's that?
My first was also an alligator.
Okay. Eamon, what do you think?
Maybe.
Was it like a Gila or something?
Danielle, you've heard from your teammates. You choose. Which one?
What was Eamon's again?
I said Gila.
I'm not quite sure.
Pick a one, please.
I'll go with...
Correct answer was the crocodile. The crocodile. You came close with alligator. Let's go to 15 points, a multiple choice question in Zoo Parade. Is a chemical by the name of a rodenticide, R-O-D-E-N-T, rodent, cide, C-I-D-E, is a rodenticide a poison to kill mice, a food given to laboratory rats, or one of the gnawing teeth that rodents have? Is rodenticide a poison, a food, or a tooth?
Rodenticide. Yeah, it does sound like a poison.
Yeah, it's a poison, yeah. Like anytime a word ends with side, C-I-D, like homicide, something is killed, yes. For 25 points in the zoo. How many of you have a cat? Anybody have a cat? David, does your cat ever spit up hairballs?
I have two cats.
Yeah. Sit a little closer, Eamon, sit a little closer to that microphone because we're not able to hear you so well. Just like cats get hairballs, technically they're known as bezoars, B-E-Z-O-A-R-S. You can impress people if you say that. Just as cats can get hairballs, so can these mammals, like the dromedary variety, that scour the deserts in the Middle East for food and often end up eating plastic. A dromedary is a kind of what animal that can also get hairballs?
Well, when you said plastic, it kind of confused me. So I thought like seagulls at first, but then I'm not sure if it's an mammal.
Okay. There were a couple clues in there I gave you. Dromedary was one. Desert was another. Middle East was another one. Correct answer there was camels. Camels can spit up balls like that. All right, let's go to the body system for 5 points. If you're experiencing something called lacrimation, L-A-C-R-I-M-A-T-I-O-N. If you're experiencing lacrimation, a word derived from your lacrimal glands, might be that you're watching a sad movie and shedding these.
Tears.
That's right, for 15 points in the body systems. Unlike elephant seals and some whales, when we prepare to dive underwater, when you are in this pool and you're going to dive underwater, what do? You try to get as much air in your lungs as you can. Well, seals and whales, they don't do that. They try to get as much air out of their lungs as they can because their lungs can collapse We can't do that because this cage in us that holds our lungs isn't flexible. Name that bony cage.
Ribs.
Rib cage, that's right. Audio assistance for 25 points. During the pandemic, blood banks have been asking people who have recovered from COVID to donate something called convalescent blank, the liquid part of the blood that can help those now suffering from COVID. Name the liquid part of the blood for 25 points.
Plasma.
Plasma. You got it, 25 points. Good. Got you to 115 points for the first round. Are you getting used to this a little bit? By the time we come back, you'll be cooking with gas. All right, it's nice to see that Bond Mill team again. Let's find out a little bit about our players and about their school. Let's start with their captain, Jordan. And Jordan, nice to have you on the show today. Why did you want to do this today?
For a long time, it's been my favorite subject. So when I heard like a Jeopardy competition, I had to do it.
I love that spirit. This is like, a lot of people say this is like Jeopardy for kids. And you guys are, I wish we had a lot of money to give you, but we do have the chance to be on television, and we have some nice medals for the eventual winners here. What do you want to do someday? Jordan, you been thinking about that yet?
Not much. Something will happen.
Something will happen, that's right. You're a young guy, you're going to see all kinds of things and have lots of experiences, and you'll figure it out. You're doing a nice job today. Keep it up in the second half. Let's talk to your teammates here. Let's go to Anvi. Anvi, nice to have you with us today, and let me ask you the same question. Why did you want to be on the Science Bowl?
I love science.
You love
I really want to be on it.
So would you call it your favorite subject?
Yes.
Yeah, well, we are happy here. This is the place for kids who love science. And how do you know so much about science? Because you do.
We prepare every day.
You prepare every day. You're obviously an excellent student, and you have a good work ethic. And someday, you know, Jordan is still trying to figure out his future. Have you thought about your future yet?
Yes, I want to be a doctor.
A doctor, wow. And of course, you'll be able to specialize at some point, but you have a nice, calm manner, and that is going to serve you well. Good luck in the second half here. And let's talk to Maria, whose brother, Martin, famously has been on our show many times and has won championships. So did your brother give you any pointers?
Yeah.
What did he tell you to do?
He just said, like, try your best and, like, work with your teammates.
Wow, that's great advice, because that's exactly what he does and what he did. And what about yourself, Maria? I like your room, by the way. That's a very nice room you have there. Tell me about your future. You've been thinking about what you might want to do someday?
Yeah, I want to be a teacher.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful to hear. What would you like to teach?
Probably just elementary school, like.
I can see you as a teacher. You look like you have a lot of patience, and you have a lot of empathy, and you do a nice job, and we need great teachers, so stick with that, young lady. Thanks for sharing that. All right, good luck in the second, and it is now time for your second 9 questions. Had a good first round. Good luck as we start. Let's get physical. Here we go for 5 points. If a scientist is applying a litmus test, L-I-T-M-U-S, he or she is trying to determine if a substance falls into which of 2 categories. It's either this or that. Give me both.
Acid or base?
Acid or base is absolutely right. 5 points to start out. That's the way to do it. Here's your 15-point question. It's a multiple choice question. What aspect of the planet Venus would you describe as retrograde? R-E-T-R-O, retrograde, G-R-A-D-E. Would its aspect be? It's thick clouds of sulfuric acid, its volcanic origins with those pockmarked craters it has, or it's backwards spinning on its axis. So, retrograde, does it mean lots of acid, a volcanic origin, or a backwards spinning on its axis?
I would think backward spinning.
Backward. Retro means to go back. Absolutely right. Perfect. All right. Let's go for 25 points, and let's get physical, and it is a visual. Look at this picture, Bond Mill. You've ridden these many times. Your mom and dad have always said, don't try to go down them backwards because they can be very dangerous. It's an escalator, of course. An escalator is a complicated machine, but it contains two simple machines. Can you give me the two simple machines that you see represented in an escalator? 25 points. Give me two.
Like can't you see, like there's pulleys like
Yeah, maybe also an inclined plane.
You got them both. A pulley and an inclined plane. I love the teamwork. Anvi and Maria and Jordan. 25. You got a perfect score so far in the second half. Let's go to potpourri. I know you've done this. Don't deny it. You're eating something, it falls on the floor. No one's looking. You pick it back up and you start to eat. If you drop some food on the ground, it's said that you have how long to pick it up before the germs start to grow?
5 seconds.
5 seconds, that's right. And I'm guilty. Sometimes it's down there for 30 seconds. Like, wait a minute, that floor is clean. Let's go to 15 points. When human beings are acting cold and evil, we know that happens. It's often blamed on the part of our brain that resembles that's found in snakes and lizards and alligators and other members of this class of animals.
Reptile?
Reptiles, that is our reptilian brain. Yes, snakes are not known for being kind and empathetic. For 25 points in potpourri, multiple choice. If on New Year's Eve you made a resolution to eat mostly meat and limit the amount of carbohydrates, you would be eating like those long ago cavemen who lived in what P-initialed era? The Paleozoic, the Pleistocene, or the Precambrian? Paleozoic, Pleistocene, or Precambrian when the cavemen ate mostly meat?
I think the one with 3 because 3 is before.
Three was before? All right. Actually, how many of you have ever heard of the paleo diet? P-A-L-E-O. That's the correct answer there, Paleozoic. You guys are too young to worry about diets, but Paleozoic was the right answer there. Still, you got a good game going. Got 3 more questions for you. Let's go to the dateline. While global warming and plastic pollution are serious threats to our planet, there was some good news recently. It was discovered that the hole in the atmosphere layer that protects us from UV light had actually shrunk. The hole in what atmospheric layer?
Is it the troposphere?
Hold on, don't.
Jordan says, hold on a second. He's racking his brain.
So,
Anvi, any idea on this one?
I know that they're spheres. The gyrosphere, which is the Earth. The hemisphere, which is water. The atmosphere.
Actually, it's a simple word here. Its formula is O33 oxygen. It's the ozone layer, a hole in the ozone layer. Let's try the 15-point question. There's a controversy here in Washington about a new train called the Maglev, M-A-G-L-E-V. It'll get us from Washington to Baltimore in just 20 minutes. It's called the Maglev because of these M initial devices that the train can levitate or float above on the tracks.
Magnets.
Magnets is right, yes indeed. All right, let's get this 25-pointer for Dateline. Here we go. I like this question. If you're a math student, this is going to help you. A newly discovered exoplanet that was found outside our solar system has been named Pi, P-I, because it completes its orbit around its star in exactly how many days?
I'm thinking I can. Isn't it like 2.5 something?
So, if you're thinking pi, how many days would it take to go around its star?
2.5.
2.5 is a good guess. 3.14. It's like, how many of you know Pi Day? Pi Day is March 14th. The third month, the 14th day. All right, that was a tough question. Still, you did a nice job here today. Your final score is 220 points, Bond Mill. You played a nice game today. Let's see if that's going to be enough to win. All right, it is now time to talk to the team from Capitol Heights. They had a good first round here. They're aiming to get some more points in the second half here. Let's find out about these young players. And Danielle, I like your spirit. How'd they make you the captain of this team?
Well, I honestly, I just tried out so many times. I tried my best to get every answer correct and study every night and watch science book videos on YouTube and even on my TV. But yeah.
Wonderful. That's one. You've done all the right things, and it's obvious you're a great science student. And your coach, Miss Ngaya, she chose well. What do you think you might want to do someday? Have you thought about your future?
Yeah, actually, I want to be an entrepreneur.
An entrepreneur? What kind of business would you like to start? Have you thought about that?
Yes, I want to be a boutique, but then also on the second floor, it's cosmetic.
Ah, you have it all planned out, don't you? You have it all planned out. And you're a very stylish young lady already. I can see you running a boutique. Let's talk to your teammates there. Let's talk to Kaylin. Hey, Kaylin, nice to have you on the show today. Why did you want to do this?
I thought it would be fun, and I don't have to do it hobbies or something, so I think it would be to spend my money.
Kaylin, you're going to have to talk up a little louder, and can you get a little closer to your microphone, because we're having a hard time hearing you, honey, and we want to hear everything you say. I like your room there. I like those pillows, it looks like, in the background there. How have you done during the pandemic? How has it been going to school on Zoom?
It's good. I get better than the real life.
Yeah, it's been a challenge, but all of you guys seem to have stepped up and done it well. What do you want to do someday, Kaylin?
Either want to be an influencer on social media or want to be big, or both.
Or both. All right. Yeah, can do both. Yeah, we can multitask in our lives here. Good luck in the second half here. And Eamon, nice to have you back with us too. Eamon, tell us why you wanted to be on the Science Bowl show.
I just like science, and I dedicate a lot of my time to it.
Yeah, you really like the science. I like your shirt there. Good. Yeah, that could describe you. Good times. I hope this is a good time for you. And what is that behind you? Tell the audience what we're looking at.
That is probably a picture of Earth taken from the International Space Station.
Very nice. Would you yourself like to go to the space station one time? No, you want to stay right down here on Earth. What do you want to do? What are you thinking about?
I want to be a density ecologist.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful. So you've got a plan already out there. That's great, young man. All right, Capitol Heights, now time for your last 9 questions. Here we go. All right, let's give it your all. Give it your all. Let's get physical for 5 points. If you donate blood in Europe, where they use a different system of measurement, if you donate blood in Europe, instead of giving a pint of blood, you'd be donating the metric system equivalent, which is half a what?
Gallon.
Yeah, gallon.
Not a gallon. Remember, you're in Europe. A liter, half a liter. They use liters over there instead of gallons over here. If you make it to the Olympics, you're not old enough to make it to the Tokyo Olympics this year, but it's someday. You're in the Olympics and you win a bronze medal. And you think, hey, I remember Science Bowl. I'm going to check the periodic table and find out all about bronze. It's not on the periodic table. No, it's a metal. It's an alloy. Bronze is made up of 2 chemical elements with the symbols Cu and Zn. Name both of the metals that come together to make bronze. Cu and Zn.
I know copper is one of them.
Copper, Cu. And Zn, I was thinking about nickel, but I doubt that. So copper. What do you guys think?
I think nickel might be good. I don't know.
I like what you're doing there, Danielle. You're checking in with the team here. You got copper right off the bat, and Zn is the last element alphabetically. Zinc. Zinc. Z-I-N-C. All right, let's go to the 25-point question and let's get physical. You know, a lot of you have things at home, toys, devices that require batteries. Those are called dry cells. You put them in. A dry cell battery has two of these T-initialed connections, a positive one known as the anode, a negative one called the cathode. You've seen a little plus sign at one end, a little negative at the other. These connections have what same name that's often applied to an airport. That means an end point.
Can you repeat that?
Sure can. If you look at a battery, a little dry cell battery that you're going to put into a flashlight, at one end you see a little plus sign, the other end there's a little minus sign. That plus sign that is an anode, the negative sign is the cathode. Those two ends of the battery, because you got to put them in the right way, are known by what T, letter T initialed connection. It's the same word that is often used for an airport. It means an end point.
Transport.
Not transport, good try. It's called a terminal. A terminal. A lot of times, you know, we're approaching the terminal here. This is the end of our journey. Let's go to potpourri for 5 points. This is kind of a fun question. There's a new epidemic of killer bugs in America called killer hornets. Killer hornets attack beehives. They wipe the beehive out. They kill all the bees. The honeybees, though, they've come up with a defense. They've resorted to fecal, F-E-C-A-L, spotting, fecal spotting. Literally, they go out, they collect this stuff that other animals make, they take it back to the hives, they spread it all around, and it acts as a repellent for the hornets. A fecal spotting. So what is it that they're picking up that other animals are making?
I'm thinking manure.
Manure is right. Yep, they're picking up poop. Who knew that poop could keep those hornets away? The bees figured it out. Here's a 15-point question in potpourri. The areas in outer space where it's not too hot and not too cold for life to exist is known as this zone, named for what fictional girl who found a bed just right in a house occupied by 3 bears.
Goldilocks.
That's Goldilocks. The Goldilocks zone is right. Yep, good answer. Here's the 25-point question in potpourri. You know, everyone's talking about the coronavirus, and it's mutating, it's changing. The mutated version of the coronavirus that got started in the UK and England turned out to be no deadlier than the original strain. But it was more what? A word that means to spread from one person to another.
Contagious.
Say it again, Danielle.
Contagious.
Contagious is right. Good. 25 points. Nicely done. 3 more questions for you. Dateline for 5 points is a visual. Look at this picture. The discovery that the universe is expanding was made by a man for whom our most famous space telescope, which you see right here, is named.
Hubble.
Hubble is right. Good. 5 points. Thanks, Eamon, for 15 points. It was in 1922 that this hormone produced by your body's pancreas was discovered to be the treatment for diabetes. There's so many ads on TV for people who have diabetes and some of the things they take. Say it again.
Insulin.
Insulin. You got it, Danielle. Perfect. 25 points in Dateline. Pollution has gotten so bad in this world, so bad, that pieces of plastic have been found near the summit of this, the world's tallest mountain.
Mount Everest.
Mount Everest is right, indeed. Good round for you. That means you finished this game with 205 points. Nicely done, Capitol Heights. All right, we knew this was going to be a hard-fought match because both these teams were evenly matched. Our final tally today is Capitol Heights 205, Bond Mill 220. So Bond Mill, congratulations. We will see you this afternoon in our next round. And congratulations too to Capitol Heights for playing an excellent game. What a second half you had. Let's give all of you a nice round of applause here. Everybody deserves compliments today for the wonderful game they played. We're proud of each of you. You brought a lot of honor to yourselves and your families and your schools. And when people tune in on Channel 96 and 38, and when they go into the web and check out YouTube and they see you guys, they're going to say, boy, those kids are great. They really are smart, and they are our future. So you did well. Everybody wins today. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you. Hope to see you next time on another edition of Science Bell. Till then, I'm Dave Zarin. Bye-bye, everybody.